Good morning, I'm Angelo Castro III.
I'm Angela and we are the Castro.
Oh, good morning sa lahat ng mga ka-brunchers natin.
Ka-brunchers ka na or pa?
Ka-brunch. Ka-brunch na lang.
Everybody.
Thank you for joining us. It's a Thursday and it's another Thursday episode. Of course, yung balita, padagdag ng padagdag. Diba?
Painit ng painit ang mga issues and our viewers are still welcome, diba, na maghula kung ano yung magiging top story natin for today.
We challenge you to get the right guess. At kung mahulaan nyo, good sa inyo.
Good job.
Congratulations. At kakanta si Angel kung tama ang hula.
Naku, umuulan-ulan na o hindi na nila ako
challenge
kailangan.
Ko. May kakanta si Angel on air pag may isang nakahulan top 1.
I'm not taking that challenge.
Well, I am imposing that challenge.
Well, wala kang magagawa pag ayaw.
Okay, joke lang. We're serving you news in a countdown.
All that before your second cup of coffee, this is Brunch.
Kicking off today's countdown with the Win Girls. TV5 has introduced the co-hosts of Willie Revillame in his highly anticipated show. Among them is Anna Ramsey, who is a DJ, singer, and performer. Also included are TikTok sensation Queen Ay Mercado and former beauty contestant Inday Fatima. They will be part of the upcoming show of Willie Revillame, who recently moved back to TV5.
Talagang this is it and I'm super duper excited na talagang ipakita rin yung kakayahan natin na makapagpasaya ng bawat kapatid.
I'm very happy because it's an opportunity for me because isipin niyo po, hindi ko inakala isang probinsyana but now I'm on the TV on the major live platforms.
Kay Kuya Will, thank you so much and syempre sa TV5, maraming salamat ho sa pagtitiwala. Gagalingan ho namin, gagawin namin ang best namin para makapagpasaya ng maraming tao.
Congratulations. And we are very excited to see kung ano yung gagawin nila sa magiging show nila dito.
Lumalaki na yung kapatid family. Dumadami na tayo. Congrats and looking forward.
At isa pang congrats.
Bakit?
Ito pa. Celebrating at the 9th spot is the National University, and you achieved the rare collegiate golden double after taking home the championship in both men's and women's volleyball. Now, this feat was last achieved by Atin Ito in season 77. And you swept the University of Santo Tomas in the thrilling Game 2 of men's and women's volleyball finals. The Bulldogs clinched their 4th straight title after besting the Golden Spikers in 4 sets. After that, the Lady Bulldogs claimed victory against the Golden Tigresses after 4 nail-biting sets. Wiretapping was named the men's finals MVP, while Alyssa Solomon was the women's finals MVP.
So history.
Congratulations!
Diba? The last time this happened 1977 or 1677.
Parang yung sa babae, sa NU, 4 years ago.
4 years ago.
4 years
No, I
ago.
mean,
4 times na, this is their 4th win in history.
I'm saying in combination of men's and women's was very historic in nature. Oh, exciting Umiinit lahat ng laro ng volleyball. It's a sport that's gaining traction dito sa Pilipinas. A decade ago lang masabi ko kasi kada kanto basketball court. Ngayon may makikita ka sa basketball court may nakasabit na net. May nagva-volleyball na rin.
May nagva-volleyball na rin.
Okay, sa volleyball pa rin tayo. The Philippine National Volleyball Federation or PNVF has announced the new moniker of our national team for volleyball. Let's call them Alas Pilipinas. And true to its name, may alas din ang ating lineup. Now for our women's team, we have Gia de Guzman, Cici Rondina, Vanny Gandler, as well as Aya Laure, Angel Canino, and Bella Belen. Our men's lineup includes Brian Bagunas, Jao Umandal, Lloyd Josafat, Martina Bugawan, Noel Campton, and Mark Espejo. The PNVF also announced its broadcast and marketing partnership with Signal TV. Because of this, we can watch Alas Pilipinas in Pilipinas Live app, RPTV, TV5, and One Sports.
Alas.
May alas, meron tayong gilas. May askal. So, kompleto na yung mga moniker na mga Philippine team natin. Exciting to, exciting.
Yes, kaabang-abang. Ika nga.
Live sa RPTV, TV5,
yun
and
ang
One Sports.
importante.
Yun ang importante. You have to stay tuned.
Signal TV.
for updates, doon na lang sila to stay tuned.
Alright, let's continue with our countdown.
Eto, heating up at our 8th spot, senators want LGUs to put more effort into spaying or neutering stray animals to control their population. The details in this report by Camille Samonte.
Senators questioned the lack of a proper system for anti-rabies vaccination and neutering or spaying of dogs and cats in the country. In a Senate hearing regarding the Animal Welfare Act, the group Biaya Animal Care said only a few government units have funds for animal birth control and anti-rabies. The group says taking care of stray dogs and cats are not among the priorities of LGUs, and that's why many non-government organizations are using their own funds to shoulder expenses for these initiatives to avoid animal cruelty and to stop the dog meat trade.
We need to incentivize the LCEs to fund it some more. And I understand that the LGU level, they have many different priorities, and often the dogs is the last priority. So right now, there are LGUs that have almost no rabies vaccines, and very few have the ability to do Camon.
The Senate is conducting hearings on amendments to the Animal Welfare Act, which aims to strengthen protection and care even for stray animals. This follows multiple reports of neglect, abuse, or killing of dogs and cats. Funds for anti-rabies vaccination this year is at 10 million pesos, but the Bureau of Animal Industry says that there have been no funds for anti-rabies vaccination in the past 3 years, and it has only been returned this year. Senators agree that anti-rabies vaccinations should be prioritized not only to help animals but also to avoid rabies cases among humans. They also believe that neutering or spaying stray animals should be a regular program among LGUs.
Dapat para ring mga tao, we do population control, especially for the poor, kasi they won't have money to feed the dogs and cats born out of their dogs and cats.
Strays lack proper care or vaccinations. Rabies is most common in countries where stray dogs are present in large numbers. The Philippines is in fact ranked 6th among countries with the highest rabies incidence in the world.
For News 5, Camille Samonte, we are One News.
Yan, please educate us, Angel.
Alin?
Yung may fun facts ka about,
Hindi. Pag spay kasi, ibig sabihin, removal ng ovaries ng any female animal.
So, female animal is
Pag
spay.
spaying.
Okay.
Pag neuter, yan ay naman na removal ng testes ng ng lalaki.
Removal of the
animal.
balls of the
Oo.
animal cat. Oo.
So, yun yung pagkakaiba niya. Pero ang goal nun is to control the population.
Yes.
Diba? Ito nga, nung mga
And not only that, but
stray
you have to
animals.
recognize-
Not just stray animals, but also kung yung sa ano mo rin.
There are health benefits.
Yeah.
For example, sa cats pa lang, certain cancers daw or viruses hindi na nagiging lethal when you neuter them or spay them. Sabi
Yes,
ng may
bet.
listahan doon sa I remember yung cat natin what do you call it? Nagpa-neuter.
Nagpa-neuter, kasi
So may mga
lalaki.
naiiwasan siyang sakit because neutered na siya. Yun lang nga sumusungit ang mga pusa.
O, ang ano naman nun, ang kumbaga ibang side effects naman nun, they
Mataba.
gain weight eh. Tapos, ano pa yun, natatamad na sila.
Oo.
Oo. Sa iba ha, ewan ko dun sa iba. Pero sa atin yun yung ating experience.
Ako hindi ako.
Na-neuter na pa kita.
Sabi ko na nga ba. Napa-neuter na ako.
Papa-neuter ko na si Jacob.
Narinig niyo lahat yun, ha? Pag di ako pumasok ng ilang araw,
Napa-neuter na siya.
doon ako sa Quezon City Circle kasi doon ang libre eh.
Pero hindi, seriously speaking, dapat talaga magawa din yan. Dahil kawawa din yung mga animals, di
Yeah.
ba?
Okay. Let's move.
Tsaka tumataas yung kaso ng rabies sa atin. Hindi yun maganda. Bakit?
Si Papa-neuter mo ako. Bakit? Carlo,
Alright, sige. Ito, meron akong mga pabaon pa sa ating mga ka-brunch today dahil ang mga nagamit ng papel, pwede pang pakinabangan.
Sa isang school project sa Leyte, ginagawa itong paper charcoal para makapagluto. Para bigyan ng mukha ang balita, Mobile Journal, Julie Baiza.
Isa Isang grupo ng mga estudyante sa Pomponan, Leyte ang umisip ng paraan para mapakinabangan ang mga gamit na papel sa eskwelahan. Yari sa pamamagitan ng paper charcoal na pwedeng-pwedeng ipangluto. Ito ang Project Uling o paper briquettes na produkto ng YES organization ng Pomponan National High School. Paraan daw yan para mapakinabangan ng used paper sa kanilang eskwelahan at makatulong sa kalikasan. Mas efficient din daw ang briquettes kesa ibang paper products.
So, I observe po kasi na yung lifespan po ng paper is hindi po ganun ka long term. So, in the end po, nagiging basura lang din po siya kasi hindi nga po siya ganun katibay. So, for me po, parang ito po, para sa akin, ito yung solusyon para mag-lessen po talaga yung waste paper dito sa school namin. Kasi wala nga, as far as I know po, parang wala pong bumibili wala po kami masyadong junk shop dito sa lugar namin po. Wala po masyadong bumibili.
Paano nga ba nagawa ang paper charcoal?
Magkakat po kami ng mga papel. Tapos, ilalagay po namin siya sa may tubig. Ng ilang araw, pa-press. Pagkatapos, ibibilad na namin.
Simple man pakinggan, hindi raw biro ang pinagdaraanan niyan. Paggupit pa lang ng papel, ilang araw na ang inaabot. 3 araw din ang pagbababad nito sa tubig tsaka ilalagay sa paper presser. Ang machine na yan, ginawa rin ng isa sa mga guro ng eskwelahan.
Pero meron na po existing po talaga na machine. Parang kinustomize lang po namin na in our own design.
Sa bawat press, 12 briquettes ang nabubuo. Sa ngayon, subok na rin daw ang mga nagawa nilang paper charcoal na tamang-tama sa mga gumagamit pa rin ng kalande uling. Base na rin yan sa feedback ng nakabili nito.
Sabi po nung bumili po sa amin, parang gumamit po siya ng less than 10 lang po na paper briquettes po at nakaluto na po siya ng pancit canton. Yun po yung una niyang trinay. Kasi maliit lang po yung kalandi uling.
Mas mura raw yan lalo't kada kilo o 15 piraso nito, 15 pesos lang ibinenta ng eskwelahan. Kumpara raw yan sa karaniwang uling na ibinebenta ng 30 pesos kada 3 supot na bigat ng 1 kilong paper briquette. Sa ngayon, plano nilang pagandahin pa ang kalidad ng paper charcoal. Yan ay para matiyak daw na masusulit ito ng mga gagamit. Mobile Journal Julie Baiza po, hatid ang mukha ng balita.
That's a very good idea dahil repurpose yung mga sa dami ng papel na ginagamit sa mga school.
Oo, at saka especially dun sa area nila, wala daw masyadong
Yes.
junk shop na bumibili doon, di ba? So, kalat lang siya in essence.
Oo.
Tapos, for sure also, kung gagawa ng studies ngayon ulit yung mga environmentalists, yung mga advocacy groups regarding sa kalat this past few years, especially during the pandemic until now, dahil yung sa mga delivery yung mga parcel ng mga dumadating sa bahay natin, 'di ba? Punong-puno ng hindi lang plastic, mga papel, 'di ba? And boxes,
tape.
Napakadami.
And the way they tape it pa, you can't blame them also kasi yung secured yung package .
Exactly.
Pero everyone's nagpapa-deliver, mas lalo yung mag-grab, kunyari yung food, yung mga food na pinapa-deliver, di ba, they use paper bags, di ba? Tapos may plastic, may straws. So, dumadami ang take-out.
Okay na nga ito, papel, at least
Maganda to.
ma-recycle mo
And
siya
plus, sinabi niya nga, yung 10 paper bricklets was able to cook pancit canton daw. So, that's good, 10 bricklets . Kasi usually sa uling, ang daming uling used just to heat up a pan. Kung ito, 10 paper bricklets na nakapagluto sila. Pag-aaralan nila yan, paano i-improve nga daw, di ba?
Yes, that's right. Alright, sige. Marami pa kasi tayong pag-uusapan today, mga maiinit na balita.
Sorry naman, madaldal ako.
No, it's okay. Coming up, LTFRB starts apprehending unconsolidated PUVs today.
Yon.
Okay, and then there's going to be a hearing on wiretapping.
I think this is in relation to the China incident.
Yes, that's right. We are just getting started. More of our top 10 news when Brunch returns. Keep it here on One News. Good morning. You're still watching Brunch here on One News. Mag-good morning ka na sa ating mga...
Yes, good morning kay Gary Field, of course.
Suki.
Si Cecil, sorry angat ko muna sa lang Cecil Samaniego and some Pokemon Go. AQ ay ito yung mga ano natin. Mga
Usual
Suki.
suspects, sabi nga.
Mga
Si
usual.
Gary Field, meron na siyang mga... hindi. Si Sam Pokemon
Pokemon
Go,
Go.
meron na siyang mga hula dun sa magiging top story natin for today.
Ayun, oo nga, yan.
Si Walter Yudelmo, si Sir Walter, ay
Sir Walter.
nanonood din.
Walter, good morning, Walter. Ang hula ni Sam Pokemon Go daw yung yung Atin Ito coalition. Yun daw ang number 1 niya.
Oo.
Let's see.
Alright, let's continue with our countdown. Ranking 7th in our countdown is an update on the Catherine Camilon case. The regional prosecutor in San Pablo, Laguna has dismissed the charges filed against the police officer involved in the beauty pageant contestant's disappearance. The charges of kidnapping and serious illegal detention filed against former Police Major Alan De Castro and driver bodyguard Jeffrey Magpantay were dropped due to lack of evidence. De Castro was the last person seen with Camilon before her disappearance on October 2023. Camilon's mother, Rosario, was disappointed with the decision. She urged the Senate to probe into the disappearance of her daughter.
Problema kasi hindi mo makita, walang body in possession, walang weapon in possession, actual weapon. So hindi mo ma-determine if she's still alive. We're hoping she's still alive.
Yeah, I know.
But it's been a while. Usually ang protocol ng ibang bansa, di ba, is how many hours? Meron
48 hours.
FBI released a timeline na yung probable scenarios habang tumatagal ang isang kidnap case.
Yes.
And in order to establish pa a kidnap case in most countries, ang understanding ko is when you establish kidnapping is na-recover mo yung tao or a ransom is or a intent to extort a ransom is delivered to authorities. So talaga may actual knowledge ka na that person is in detention.
The problem is here, sinabi ng PNP malakas yung ebidensya nila.
Yeah.
Pero yun nga, na-dismiss ito dyan, yung sa Regional Trial Court. And ano nangyari dun sa DNA sample? Di ba we were talking about it before?
Yeah, the DNA was found in her car, in blood. They took the DNA of the mom, nag-match
It matched, di ba?
So, but ang sinasabi kasi ng iba, mga pundits, although there is sign of blood, but does it mean there was struggle? What does it point out to? Di ba, somebody could have blood in the car pero not from a struggle. So,
Pero sana lang yung mapag-usapan
but actually,
yung kaso,
these are
yun yung importante.
Yeah, these are technicalities in court. And syempre, ang isang judge will have to look at all of this based on yung rules of court. So, yun ang nangyari. Well, I hope this gets resolved soon dahil ang tagal na nito. Di ba? Itong case ni Catherine Camilon.
Totoo yan.
She's been missing for a long, long time now. And syempre, masakit sa magulang
Since
to.
October 2023.
And ilang months na yung mga parents niya, di ba? Uneasy, walang resolve. So we hope and pray na things are resolved very, very soon. Okay, let's move on. Heating up at the 6th spot is the tertiary education in the country. President Bongbong Marcos expressed disappointment with the performance of our universities in international rankings. The president noted that no universities in our country entered the top 100 of the 2024 Times Higher Education Asia University rankings. The top Philippine university on the list is Ateneo de Manila University, but it only ranked in the 401 to 500 bracket. PBBM vowed to improve the quality of tertiary education in the country. He added that his administration allocated billions of funds to continue the free tertiary education in state universities.
This administration remains committed to the continuing provision of a free tertiary education in public universities and colleges for qualified students as provided under the Universal Access to Quality Tertiary Education Act. We have allocated close to 134 billion pesos for our state and local universities and colleges this year, so that more students can receive free tertiary education.
I remember an interview, may taga-Ateneo na nag-guest sa Big Story and they were asking why, bakit malaki ang drop. It doesn't really point out to yung quality mismo ng education, but rather a research component. Kasi these universities are measured by the number of research research that are published or are done yun nga, na-publish nga. So, medyo, sabi ng father from Ateneo, at that time, wala pa silang dedicated research department for this, kaya bumagsak but the quality remains the same, rest assured.
Yeah, pero yun nga, yung issue dito is yung free tuition sa mga state and universities. Maganda yan, pag titignan mo, kasi libreng tuition para sa mga kabataan, sa mga magka-college. Pero ang nangyayari ngayon, dapat they have to dig deeper into it. Dahil ang nangyayari ngayon, yung mga mas mayayaman, sila pa rin yung nakakakuha ng libreng pagpapaaral. Let's say, for example, in UP, 'di ba? Dahil syempre, yung mga mag-entrance exam doon galing sa mga magagandang eskwelahan, yung mga nakakapasok doon ngayon, aminin mo naman na talagang mayayaman na. 'Di ba? Kaya yun yung sinasabi ng mga tao ngayon and most of the advocate groups na tignan natin yung sistema na mas maibigay natin yung free tuition doon sa mga estudyante na mas nangangailangan talaga.
What happens kasi is
notwithstanding yung hindi natin bababaan yung standards natin when it comes to education.
What happens kasi is most of the people who want to go into, for example, UP, they have to take the UPCAT. The UPCAT is a very difficult entrance exam. And in order to study for the UPCAT, it takes a lot of money to...
Review centers are not accessible to
Yes, and
poor,
aside from review centers, yung pinanggalingan mong school, usually the schools that have yung kamatch ng, kunyari, UPCAT, yung level of difficulty come from the more expensive ones.
Exactly.
Not to put down our public school system, but kasi mas maano yung research nila for the quality of education. So, are people who are qualified for the UPCAT, pero hindi nakapag-review ng maayos dahil walang access, hindi sila nakakalusot. And the people with money are the ones who are able to afford yung mga review centers, sila ang nakakalusot.
Sila nakapasok doon. So, libre yung education nila when in fact, kaya naman nila magbayad ng
Pero, di ba, Senator Bam said that you can, there's a mechanism in which you can pay the full tuition pag sa UP, but it has to be voluntary.
Yun nga.
So kung ako nakalusot, may pera ako, voluntarily, I will pay the full tuition sa UP.
Exactly. So yun lang yung stand ko. Maganda yung batas na yun, yung free tuition na yan sa tertiary education dahil marami sa mga kababayan natin ng high school titigil na lang because hindi na kaya magpatuloy ng pag-aaral. Pero if there are libre, 'di ba, na mga education, may mga libreng eskwelahan para sa college, why not? Ang problema nga, kailangan, we have to make sure that this is inclusive to all, especially dun sa mga nangangailangan talaga. Yun. Okay.
Go.
Sige, let's move on with our next topic for today. Switching gears now for our top 5, the LTFRB starts flagging down unconsolidated public utility vehicles today, May 16. The driver of an unconsolidated jeepney could face a 10,000 peso fine and his vehicle could be impounded for 30 days. The driver may also face a 1-year suspension of license. The LTFRB says they have asked for assistance from the PNP in apprehending colorum vehicles. The consolidation period ended last month, but the agency only issued show cause orders to unconsolidated PUVs until today.
We already have a list of them. Sila po yung mga una naming ma-flag down. Ma-identify naman namin kasi may rota yan, may plate number yan. Makikita namin kaagad pag malayo pa lang yung jeep, titignan lang namin yung plate number.
So yun, at least may guidelines na on yung paghuhuli nila.
Yes.
But of course, may mga several groups that are still questioning the implementation of
Kumakatok pa rin sila sa pintuan ng
consolidation.
Supreme Court na kahit papano sana daw magkaroon ng TRO. Para habang inaaral itong batas na ito daw, ay makapagtrabaho pa rin yung mga jeepney drivers na hindi sumama sa consolidation.
Pero parang ang advice nga ng mga ng ibang grupo ng mga organization is if hindi nga pwede mag-ply ng route, pwedeng wag na lang muna kasi kung ma-impound ang jeep mo, talagang para matubos mo ang impound, mahal. Diba? So our less fortunate brothers, mahihirapan yung mga drivers natin, nahihirapan itubos yung mga jeepney. So parang in the meantime, hinihintay ni Marvel Buena is yung ano yung program na prinamis ng government na sa mga driver na mawawala ng work. Kasi parang they will coordinate with them daw para mabigyan ng projects na magkakaroon ng extra income sana yung mga driver.
Exactly.
Oo, so yun ang hinihintay nila. While a TRO is being studied and of course yung merits ng case against sa DOTR sa Supreme Court.
Pero masakit man intindihin, wala tayong magagawa. Today is the day na magsisimula na ang pag-uuli ng mga colorum.
So,
Colorum
colorum na
means
ang-
hindi sila kasama sa mga nag-consolidate.
Colorum na ang tag sa kanila.
Yes.
Alright, let's...
So hopefully we can check yung mga kalsada. Ngayon, tingnan natin kung may mga ma-apprehend na mga unconsolidated jeepneys.
Okay, let's move on. Sizzling at the fourth spot is a new rule in the 2025 elections. Bawal na ang sub. The Commission on Elections, or COMELEC, has tightened its conditions when it comes to substitutions. COMELEC announced that substitution is only allowed during the filing of certificate of candidacies from October 1 to October 8. After October 8, substitutions can only happen if a candidate dies or was disqualified. COMELEC Chairman George Garcia said this will prevent candidates who quote-unquote deceive voters with their strategic last-minute substitutions. He also said this new rule doesn't need the approval of Congress.
Hindi na po kailangan sapagkat kami naman po ay may power to enforce and administer election law. Pwede namin po ma-reconcile yung magkakaibang version ng ating batas para lang panatilihin on equal opportunity for all.
Naalala ko kasi na-interview natin last week
Yes,
si COMELEC Chairman regarding that.
And he was saying this.
Explain nga niya yan.
Na pwede mag-substitute as long as yung may death or kaya na-disqualify. Plus, or yung last name nyo is pareho. This is because para yung printing ng ballots, hindi na kailangan mag-reprint.
So para maiwasan na rin yung ginagawa ng ibang kandidato na ginagawang kumbaga waiting game, di ba? Itong filing of certificate of candidacy.
Oo, tapos kasi nangyari ito.
Sulong, ganyan.
Nangyari ito sa panahon ni PRRD, yung presidential elections. If you remember, he did not file initial deadline, yung certificate of candidacy.
Actually, he filed as candidate for mayor.
It was Martin Dino who filed, pero on a different position. I think it was...
No, president.
Really? Kasi initially, before na nag-iba, parang mayor of Pasay City ang inano niya bago siya nag-president.
So, ayun. Tapos ganun din nangyari last election, di ba?
Yeah, sa VP Sara.
VP Sara before, di ba, hindi siya kaagad nag-file. Tapos, there was a time na nag-file pa si Senator Bato de la Rosa, di ba? As president.
Sino ang nag-file at umatras?
Umatras naman sila. Sabi, nandun daw siya para mag-substitute just in case magbago isip nga ni Vice President Sara Tertiary at that time. So, okay naman yan. Mabuti na yan. Iwasan na yung mga nilalaro nilalaro kasi yung batas eh.
Ginagawang drama ang eleksyon.
Tigilan nyo na yan.
Nalilihis na ang tunay na spirit of the election is to elect leaders who are deserving. And should be based...
To serve the public.
And should be based on issues, not popularity, not yung propaganda, not yung mga...
Not on parties, political parties, diba? Colors, ano pa?
Yun. Anyway.
Tigil yun na yan.
Okay. Umiinit na ulo. Sige, let's go. Let's go.
Let's go? Don't go away.
Because we're not done yet. May tatlo pa tayo. Please stay with us. Welcome back. You're still watching Brunch here on One News. Happy Thursday!
Yes!
Oo, kahit nakakainit yung ibang balita, huwag kayo init na ulo. Smile lang, relax, be happy, maiksi ang buhay, at huwag magsusungit sa mga asawa nyo.
May pinaparinggan ka ba?
Hindi. Advice lang sa mga husband na huwag na maging masungit. Oo.
Alright, let's continue. Ano ba?
Hello din kay Minda. Sorry, hindi ko mabasa.
Mindalu.
Good morning, Mindalu. Thank you for watching Brunch. At saka sa lahat ng mga viewers natin.
Oo, yung regular viewers natin, si Mother Earth.
Mother Earth, of course. Si Vlad.
Oh, si Vlad.
Si
Sino
Vlad.
pa? Si Tita Daisy and
Tita
Tito
Daisy.
Naldi Cancho.
Yes.
Yan.
Okay.
Let's continue with our countdown. Going straight to our top 3, the Philippine Navy deploys another vessel to Escoda or Sabina Shoal. This comes after the discovery of possible reclamation activities by China in the area. The vessel will join BRP Teresa Magbanwa in patrolling around Escoda Shoal. The Chinese embassy has since denied dumping dead corals to build a structure in the area.
This is to ensure that whoever is doing that, we are not sure who is doing that, whoever is piling up dead corals on Sabina Shoal, we will be able to expose their activities.
Kasi yun nga sinasabi nga din ni Commodore Jay Tariela, PCG spokesperson, na medyo yung dun sa mga ginagawa nilang mga pagbabantay doon sa Escoda, medyo na apprehend nila yung ginagawang mga minor reclamation activity doon sa area. And hopefully, yun nga, we can talk to somebody we're trying to get in touch with the Navy spokesperson, Roy Trinidad, to give us details on how are they going to do this, diba? How are they going to continue yung patrolling nila sa Escoda Shoal to make sure na ang Chinese, or wag natin sabihin, allegedly, diba, na merong reclamation project na ginagawa doon sa area. Because if this going to be successful, itong mga reclamation areas doon or reclamation projects na ginagawa doon sa Escoda, tapos doon din sa Sandy Cay, it will be difficult for the AFP and PCG to do their resupply missions because ipit yan doon sa kung positioning yung pag-uusapan.
And also, I was going to say also, yung point of reference ng mga ibang tao is aside from it boxes us in, yung movements natin, nag-iiba ang usapan regarding territorial issues because meron ng existing land, di ba?
Yes.
Kasi I think our land, ang UNCLOS natin is only, forgot tuloy. Anong tawag doon?
Alin?
Iba ang nagiging usapan kasi pag may actual land, iba yung usapan pag territorial waters lang. And
Sovereign and sovereignty
issues. So, and yung EEZ kasi natin, di ba, as we all know, is highly disputed with the Chinese. So, if proven, at what they want to find out is the Chinese doing this? Is the Vietnamese doing this? Di ba? Hindi natin alam.
Oo. So, kasi di ba, they're also saying na baka naman na wash ashore lang yung mga crushed corals. Pero definitely, it was really crushed corals. No?
Pero ang sinabi kasi ng mga scientists, when they checked it out, di ba yung iba, yung Sandy Cay, the way it was formed cannot be yung washed ashore because pag na-wash ashore or wind created, may certain formation nakikita. And the formation that they saw was not something that comes from dead corals na nawawash ashore or sand. It looks like it was formed by human hands. But they're not saying who did it. They're just saying it looks like it was formed by human hands. Yun lang ang point nila.
So anyway, ang tawag dito, basta determine naman ng PCG and Philippine Navy na magkaroon nga ng patrolling dyan sa Escoda Shoal to make sure na ma-prevent man kung sino man yung gumagawa ng any reclamation activities in that area.
Okay, let's move on. Now, sitting pretty on our second spot, Chinese diplomats in the country may be expelled if proven guilty of wiretapping. Here's the report.
The Senate is set to launch an investigation into the supposed audio recording between a Chinese diplomat and an official of the Armed Forces of the Philippines. In that conversation, they allegedly agreed on a new model to manage tensions in the Ayungin Shoal. Senate Committee on Maritime and Admiralty Zones Chairman Francis Tolentino says they need to find out if the audio recording is legitimate.
Wala itong acknowledgement na nagkaroon nga talaga ng pag-uusap na merong new model. Because that's extraneous.
They also want to know if Chinese embassy officials violated the Philippines' anti-wiretapping law.
It is a serious breach of existing international law for an embassy, a foreign embassy, to violate internal and domestic laws of a host country. Kahit i-tape mo lang yung greetings, ni hao, good morning, wiretapping na yun.
Tolentino says those who will be proven in violation will be expelled and declared persona non grata. Chinese embassy officials will be invited to the hearings.
Hindi sila pwedeng makumpel, but because this involves a violation of Philippine laws, palagay ko dapat umattend sila para patunayan na in good faith sila. Para patunayan na wala silang inililihim. So, nasa kanila na yon.
The Justice Department also ordered its own investigation into the matter. Secretary Boying Remulla says diplomatic immunity should never be used as a license to exploit our country's peace and harmony for selfish motives. He adds that this privilege should not shield anyone from the consequences of the rule of law.
Ngayon, very tricky ang sistema sa wiretapping. For wiretapping to be admissible in any form of court dito sa country natin, the parties involved in the wiretapping have to admit first na sila ang wina-wiretap.
Oo, nandoon sila.
And may consent. Oo. And then, pwede mong kasuhan yung nag-wiretap sa'yo.
Hindi, walang consent.
No. No, in other words, may consent ka to be recorded. That's what I mean. Kung the parties involved had to have knowledge and given consent to be recorded, or that you are being wiretap for it to be admissible. I remember naging issue kasi yan kay PGMA before, yung Hello Garci tapes. Diba? And pag sinabi mong ako yan, inadmit mo ako ang na wina-wiretap mo, ni-record mo, then pwede mong kasuhan yung nag-wiretap sa'yo. Pero kung dininay mo na, hindi ako yan.
Hindi ako yan. Deep fake yan.
Then no wiretapping ever happened. That's why yung kay PGMA ngayon nangyari, diba? Hindi nag-prosper yung Hello Garci tapes. Remember? Hindi siya nag-prosper because wala naman umamin kung sino yung nandun.
Yeah.
Oo. So in this issue, pero tama si Senator Francis Tolentino, wiretapping is a very serious offense. In the US has expelled several diplomats over the years dahil na wiretapping embassy natin. And you remember what's his name? May nagka-movie pa about him.
Alin?
Yung leaks, WikiLeaks. Snowden. Aside from documents, he had supposed wiretap evidence of several spies daw ng United States.
Pero I understand naman, let's say for example, in a official, official meeting with, yung mga officials, di ba? Ay may mga transcript talaga yan
minutes
ng
of the meeting.
Minutes of the meeting, di ba? I understand. Pero ito kasi mahirap nga dahil sabi over the phone, tapos yung kausap pa nila is not doesn't have the authority to make that decision. Kasi 'di ba ito yung sinasabi nila yung sa Westcom, which in fact sinasabi din ng DFA, 'di ba? Ang meron lang say, 'di ba, mag-authorize na magsabi na okay, approve kami doon sa new model na sinasabi nyo, ay ang ating presidente.
Yep,
which is in fact walang alam ang ating presidente.
Kasi the AFP for their part denied
they will not dignify this claim.
Ang problema kasi dito is yung context of which the supposed discussion happened. Kasi pwede naman, tinawagan namin yung yung AFP we were trying to get to the president, hindi kami makapunta sa president. So we'll ask you, baka pwede mong puntahan si presidente and show them ano yung pinopose namin model. Baka ganun ang context. Na iniiba naman ng China lang yung context. Baka may tumawag nga at tini-request lang na baka pwede pag-usapan ng model. But ang problema, ang claim kasi ng China is nag-agree.
Yun ang sabi. Kaya nga sabi natin, asan yung tape? Labas yun, tignan natin. Tignan natin, may nakarinig na ba nun? Sino ba talaga yung boses doon? Sino-sino pa yung involved doon sa allegedly wiretapping? Kasi sinasabi nga ng AFP, pwedeng deepfake yan eh. Kasi nagagawa na ngayon, it's really possible.
Oo. Sala yung YouTube video ni PBBM.
Yes,
Deepfake
oo.
naman yun eh.
So ngayon, ang tanong dyan, pupunta ba ang mga Chinese officials kapag sinamo ng Senate? Yan,
No, but
yan ang malaking hamon
tama
dyan eh.
yung ma-express mo yung fear ni Francis Tolentino, Senator Francis Tolentino. It is really a serious issue if the host country is being wiretapped by another country. It means ano pa ang wina-wiretap niyo sa amin?
What else?
Diba?
Okay.
Ay, nako.
Sige, abangan nila yung ating top 1 for today. In the meantime, ay wag muna po kayong aalis. Kami ay babalik. We'll be right
We
back.
will be back. I'll be back. Welcome back to Brunch.
Yes, you're still watching Brunch here on One News. At yun na nga, usapin pa rin sa West Philippine Sea. Let's get insights from Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson Commodore J. Tariela. Magandang umaga po sa inyo, Commodore.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo, ma'am, at sa inyong mga taga-subaybay.
Yes, thanks for joining us again today. Ano po ang reaksyon nyo, masasabi nyo dun sa magkakaroon po ng Senate investigation into the supposed audio recording?
Yung audio recording po ba to na sinasabi ng
Yes.
Chinese Embassy?
Na meron daw pumayag po sa hanay natin doon sa new model na sinasabi po ng China.
Well, una sa lahat, ma'am, no? Ang statement po natin dito is that for me, dapat we don't pay attention na sa mga sabi ng Chinese Embassy kasi pag mga ganito, all of their saying are all lies. Mga ganyan, new model na sinasabi nila,
Yeah.
mga arrangement, gentleman's agreement, all of these are fabricated lies na ginagawa ng embassy for us to be diverted on the issue na talagang ginagawa nila. For example, kung makikita mo, ma'am, kapag magbigay sila ng ganyang statement, ito yung mga pagkakataon na katatapos lang ng insidente.
Okay.
Just like after the Baho de Masinloc na winaterkano nila yung Coast Guard vessel,
Yes.
naglabas na naman sila ng ganitong mga gawa-gawang storya.
Okay.
So for us, for me, para sa akin, we don't need to pay attention sa mga ganitong statement ng Chinese Embassy.
Pero Commodore, in essence, do you agree or do you support this Senate hearing or dapat wag na?
Well, I always respect ang ating mga senador, no? I think meron silang dahilan kung bakit nila isasagawa itong hearing na to. So, I'm not in a position to go against to their intention, no? So, for the Philippine Coast Guard, we support those kind of actions from the Senate.
Yes, Commodore, given na ang stance po nating gobyerno at saka sa hanay ng AFP ay all of these are fabricated lies about the wiretapping, and yet China is claiming na meron nga silang recording. So with that and these pronouncements, and if they are lying and proven so, do you think na it's about time na i-explore natin of the possibility of expelling some of their diplomats involved in fabricating these lies?
Ang desisyon naman ng pag-expel ng ating mga kasamahan dyan sa Chinese Embassy, mga diplomats, no, has to be decided by the Department of Foreign Affairs and concurred by the President. Pero ang issue ko nga lang dito, dapat hindi tayo masyado nagpapapaniwala dito sa mga statement ng Chinese Embassy. Sinabihan ko nga yung mga kasamahan natin sa media, sir, no, na yung mga statement ng Chinese Embassy, hindi natin dapat yan tinatanggap that easily. Tapos isusulat, magiging balita. Kasi nakakasira ng paniniwala ng mga Pilipino, kakaroon tayo ng iba-ibang opinyon. Ang dapat lang talaga nating tutukan dito at hindi tayo malito, no? is yung China, patuloy na hinaharas ang ating mga kababaeng mga
That's right.
isda. Ang People's Republic of China, patuloy na tayong pinahihirapan sa resupply operation. At hanggang ngayon, ang Chinese Coast Guard ay patuloy pa rin nang haharas din ng Philippine Coast Guard.
Yes, since Commodore, no, yung ginagawa ng Chinese officials natin regarding this issue, parang ang sinasabi po ng iba, they're sowing discord among high officials of the armed forces. Ngayon, how do we stop them from releasing any more propaganda? Is there a way or a mechanism na pwedeng i-silence muna ang mga ganito, especially if these are lies? Do you plan to file cyber libel cases or libel cases against them?
Actually, sir, no, lumalala lang naman yung issue ng mga statement at saka mga lies ng Chinese Embassy kapag pinag-uusapan natin sa media. If we're going to choose not to talk about it and to really have a balanced reporting tungkol sa mga statement ng Chinese Embassy, hindi naman to lalaki ng ganito eh. So para sa akin, tayo, the moment na pag-usapan natin ng paulit-ulit itong issue na to, mas talo nagkakaroon ng buhay.
And recently, meron naman po sila mga allegations, something like ang mga fishermen daw po natin, apparently they have videos na umiihi daw po sa dagat, nagtatapon ng basura. What can you tell about that? What can you tell us about that? And also, do we have parang meron po bang pagkakataon ng Coast Guard na nakakausap ang mga fishermen natin doon sa West Philippine Sea at na-orient sila on anong dapat ang ginagawa, proper decorum sa West Philippine Sea, sa dagat?
Well, una sa lahat, no, kung sakali man natotoo yung sinasabi nilang umiihi, nagtatapon ng mga maliliit na basura dyan sa karagatan, dinadivert lang na naman nila yung attention natin, no? Ang nakaraang linggo, ang ipinalabas natin, nagpa-press conference ako, ipinakita ko yung mga sinirang corals ng Chinese government, no? Na plano nilang itambak sa mga areas dito sa Escoda Shoal. So, Chinese Embassy is once again pretending to be caring for the marine environment, but they're actually not, no? Kung concerned talaga sila sa seabed at sa coral system dyan sa South China Sea, sana noong 2018, noong 2013, pinigilan nila yung mga Chinese fishermen sa pag-harvest ng giant clams sa Baho de Masinloc.
Yun ang ating sagot sa kanila. But moving forward po doon sa po nangyaring Atin Ito Coalition yesterday, yung pagpunta doon ng Atin Ito Coalition rather, kamusta po yung naging role po ng PCG doon?
Well, our commandant, Admiral Gavan, has deployed one aircraft and one Coast Guard vessel para siguraduhin na ligtas ang mga sibilyan na sasama dito, no? As far as the Coast Guard is concerned, we are still monitoring ang paglalayag ng ating mga kababayan dito.
Kasi yun nga po, no, na nagkaroon po kayo ng official statement na hindi naman to government sanction itong ginawang convoy ng Atin Ito Coalition and other volunteers. But yun nga po, yung safety nila ay inyo rin pong inalala. Nagdagdag po kayo ng mga kasama po, kumbaga yung mag-a-assist sa kanila, pati aircraft. Is that true?
Yes, ma'am. No? Paulit-ulit ko lang sinasabi na itong paglalayag ng Atin Ito is not actually sanctioned by the government. No? This is civil society initiative. Hindi ito sinuportahan ng National Task Force West Philippine Sea. Not a single government agency ang nag-udyok sa mga ito na magpunta sa Baho de Masinloc. Ito ay voluntaryong ginawa ni Miss Rafaela kasama ng kanyang mga volunteers. No? But then again, for the Coast Guard, no? Of course, it's our mandate to ensure ang kaligtasan ng ating mga kababayan kung kaya't nagpadala ng barko ang ating komandante dito para siguraduhin makakabalik sila ng ligtas at makakapaglayag sila ng ligtas patungo sa Baho de Masinloc.
Right. Taking this opportunity na rin, Commodore, no, to ask you regarding po doon sa Escoda Shoal, no? Supposedly, baka you can give us an update regarding po doon sa tuloy-tuloy pa rin po ba yung Amonay reclamation na project na ginagawa doon?
Well, ngayong araw, no, ang 31st day ng deployment ng Teresa Magbanwa sa Escoda Shoal. Ito ang pinakamatagal na deployment ng Philippine Coast Guard sa West Philippine Sea. At gaya nga na sinabi ko sa mga nakaraang interview, ma'am, no? Simula nang na-deploy tayo dito ng barko, may mga divers tayo dito para siguraduhin hindi na maitutuloy ng Chinese government ang kanilang small-scale reclamation sa Escoda Shoal.
All right.
Thank you, Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson Jay Tariela, for joining us today on Brunch.
Maraming salamat po.
Yun. Ano lang, I beg to differ lang kay Commodore Jay Tariela. Hindi po media may problema dito with regards to...
Siyempre, we want to get to the bottom of it.
We are doing our job in ferreting stories to the public that they deserve to know. Ang titignan dapat dito may kasalanan, sino ba ang nagpapakawala ng propagandang mali? Yun ang dapat sisihin natin. Hindi po dapat sinisisi ang media because trabaho po natin ito maglabas ng stories.
Exactly. Pero usapin pa rin sa West Philippine Sea para sa ating top story for today. Our top story for today is the Atin Ito Coalition Civilian Mission. They are expected to be in Panatag Shoal this morning, but of course, they encountered some Chinese vessels along the way. Here's the report.
The Atin Ito Coalition started sailing from Masinloc, Zambales past 7 a.m. They brought food packages and gasoline for our fisher folks in Panatag Shoal. PCG's BRP Bagakay welcomed the civilian convoy 11 nautical miles from Magalawa Island. Upon reaching the sea 40 nautical miles from Masinloc, Atin Ito dropped their symbolic buoys with the message West Philippine Sea, Atin Ito written on them. And as expected, a Chinese vessel was spotted in the middle of Atin Ito Coalition civilian mission in the West Philippine Sea. The vessel was spotted 50 nautical miles from Masinloc, Zambales. The Philippine Coast Guard or PCG issued a radio challenge against the vessel tailing the civilian convoy. Filipino fisher folks were also screaming at the Chinese vessel that the West Philippine Sea is ours. Despite this threat from China, Atin Ito said they are not intimidated by them. Still, PCG will continue to guard the civilian convoy from possible aggressive actions by China.
Because the mere fact that they are deploying their Coast Guard vessels, their Chinese maritime militia, to block a civil society initiative in sailing within our own exclusive economic zone, yan ang dahilan kung bakit nagkakaroon ng tensyon. Hindi tayo.
Despite China's presence, Atin Ito proceeded their journey to Panatag Shoal. They are expected to be there this morning. Reporting for News 5, Elaine Fulgencio, We Are One News.
Well, so far, yung first 3 goals, mission successful.
Yes.
Ang tag ng coalition na ito. Congratulations to them, and everyone is safe and sound. Oh.
Dagdagan ko lang ito, no, meron na tayo kasing update mula pa rin kay Elaine Fulgencio sa News 5. Sinasabi niya yung Atin Ito's advance team successfully breached China's blockade at Bajo de Masinloc and delivered supplies to the fisher folk in the area. Yan po ang kanilang in-announce. So on the morning of May 14, the advance team set out for the Bajo de Masinloc, a day ahead of the official civilian supply mission. They arrived within 25 to 30 nautical miles of the general vicinity of Bajo de Masinloc.
So yung blockade na na-breach nila, ito ba yung sinasabi nilang nagsha-shadow sa kanila?
Yun yata.
Meron daw one on the left, one tapos on the right.
Kasi may shadowing silang sinasabi yesterday.
I think it was 2 Coast Guard vessels that were shadowing the contingent.
Pero yun nga sinabi ng Atin Ito Coalition,
nila.
yung kanilang lead convener na si Rafaela David, they have planned already yung mga possible scenarios. Ang kanila, they will, kumbaga, iiwas sila. Yun pa rin ang kanilang, kumbaga, plano. That time kung sakasakaling may mag-shadow, may baka mag-water cannon, ganun. Because ang goal na lang talaga nila dyan is, of course, yung freedom of navigation at makapagbigay nga ng supplies sa ating mga mangingisda doon.
Alright, with that, I'd like to leave everyone with a quote to start their morning ride. Now, there are 2 ways of spreading light, to be the candle or the mirror that reflects it. A quote from Edith Wharton. So, walang excuse not to do good. Ikaw ang ilaw or ikaw nagre-reflect ng ilaw ng iba.
Exactly.
Alright, and that wraps up today's episode of Brunch.
Join us again tomorrow. I'm Angela Lagunzad Castro.
And I'm Angelo Castro III. We are One News.
All sides, all the time.